welcome to episode 7 of the Sterns Files. And this will be the last episode because we've only got one set of data to do, and that is the phone ping data. So we're going to do all of this in one fell swoop, although it's a lot of pages. It's probably nearly half of this discovery. It won't actually take us that long. And it's absolutely fascinating. I mean, literally, I've never seen phone ping data set out like this. I wish they'd do this in all cases because it makes it really, really easy to understand who was where and when. So on your screen, we've got, this is the beginning of it. This is like the introductory page of it. And the target is Christopher Sterns. Now, look, that's Stefan's dad. So I don't really understand why Christopher Sterns has been named when it's clearly Stefan's phone. The only thing I can conclude is that the phone was in Christopher's name. So Stefan, not only using his dad's car, but it appears that his dad was also paying his phone bill. So did this guy leech off absolutely everybody? I don't know. So where you see Christopher or C Sterns, it's actually Stefan's movements. Yeah, big man child, absolutely. Yeah, loser. So, but that's the number. And I'm sure if this really was like Stefan's dad's phone, they'd have blanked his name out. You know, if they got his dad's phone in there as well, because his dad came to stay with them. So they were actually surveilling Christopher Sterns when they were in the hotel. So like the 27th, 28th, they were surveilling the whole family. We saw this earlier in the discovery that they had what time they arrived and left the hotel. Like they were tracking all the movements. So Stefan's dad was tracked at that time. But if this really was his phone, like they were tracking his phone as well as Stefan's, Jen's and Maddie's, he's not the suspect. So his name would have been blanked out like Jen's and Maddie's are. So I can only assume that the reason why this is Christopher Sterns is because the phone is in Christopher Sterns' name. All right, so it starts, they start tracking these phones kind of the latter part of the 25th. So it's around the time of the birthday party and then all the way through the 26th. So absolutely fascinating. Now, this is the first page. Let me just make sure that we've got we can see the time as well on this. All right, so you can see here, actually, I'll go down just a few. I'll jump back up in a minute. I just want here we go, here's one. So we've got a little key here. So what are you doing, Noodle? You can get through there. Come on. This kind of pinky colour is C Sterns, i.e. Stefan's phone. But on the map, when we start going through the map, it's actually red. So I don't know why. And then this pinky, purpley, I don't know what colour you call that, colour is Maddie's phone. And then the blue is Jen's phone. So you just got to keep that in mind. So when you see red, lilac, yeah, maybe lilac. When you see red, it's Stefan. When you see this colour, purple, lilac, it's Maddie. And then when you see blue, it's Jen. And then we've also got the greenhouse is Maddie's grandma. And then the red house is home. And then the vehicles is Stefan's vehicle. So we've got phone pings, and we've also got, throughout the 26th, we've also got the surveillance at all the cameras that Stefan's vehicle was caught on. So absolutely fascinating. So we'll go back to this. All right, so we're starting off on the 25th at between 1805 and 1947. So just gone 6 o'clock and then 7:45. We've got Maddie's phone, which is stationary. And let me just explain what all of these arcs are. So these are phone masts. All right. So you can see that Maddie's phone is actually being caught on 3 masts, 3 phone towers. So 1, 2, 3. Now, this one is the closest to the house. You can see there the little green house. That's Grandma's house. So this tower is the closest, and this tower will have the strongest signal. So this is covering. So Maddie's phone is being picked up. It's being picked up on 3 towers, but this is the one that's the closest. This is the one that's the strongest, right? And then where you've got this arc here, this kind of angular thing, that's the direction that the sector of the tower that it's picking up on. All right, so until 1947, we've got Maddie's phone, which is stationary. So this is the birthday party. So she's at her grandma's house with her phone, and we don't see Stefan's phone and we don't see Jen's phone. So it does appear that neither of them were there. Okay, at least the phones weren't anyway. Then 1949, we start getting some movement. And just watch the time at the top. So 1949, it's pinging on another tower there. So it's obviously starting to move because it's starting to ping bigger on this tower. All right, so it's moving. So it's moving a sector on this tower here, and it's being picked up bigger on this tower. So again, getting stronger. So it's moving over here. Okay, now it's just switched location just to zoom it out. And this is when we start to see some real movement. So Maddie's phone is there. So it looks like there. We don't know exactly where they went after the party, but she was dropped off around 8:30 by her aunt, by Jen's sister. But it does appear, if we just go back a few, it does appear it's kind of doing, like, moving all over the place. So I'm wondering whether the aunt's going somewhere. But Maddie's phone's on the move, basically. It's pinging off various towers. So Maddie's phone's on the move. Okay, now, this is really zoomed out. And you can just about see Maddie's phone there. So it's really, really zoomed out, because what we're starting to capture is Stefan making his journey. So he's on this major road here, and we've got Maddie still in the vicinity of the party. So she's on the move. Aunt's probably, I don't know, maybe dropping other people off. I have no idea. But she's in the vicinity of the party, and we've got home. So this is the first time we've got home featured. So we've got 2 phones now in play, moving towards this house eventually. Okay. So that's just zoomed in on Maddie. Oh, that's going back. So, right, watch. So Maddie's phone's moving here. Stefan's phone's going to start moving up here. And I've never seen it all displayed like this. It's really, really interesting. So again, watch the movement of these phones, but also watch the time. So it's now 8:10. So 12 minutes past. So Stefan's moving along this highway. 14 minutes past. 15 minutes past. Now, Maddie's phone appears to be stationary. So maybe Maddie and her aunt have stopped somewhere. Don't know. But that's stationary for a while. As Stefan is moving his way up the highway, pinging off all these different towers going up the highway. "17 minutes past, 18 minutes past." I mean, look at this. It's amazing. 22 minutes past. And Maddie's phone's still there. So maybe they went, I don't know. Okay, so 22 minutes past still. 23 minutes past. And then it's annoying, but we get Stefan very close to the house now at 23 minutes past. And then we've got a zoomed in on Maddie's phone, because Maddie's phone then starts to move as well. So we've got Maddie's phone then at 29 minutes past, which is in the vicinity of home. So Maddie's phone has got home by 20 minutes past. I don't know why they've missed out 6 minutes, but in those 6 minutes, Maddie's got home. So we're now on 8:30. So we do know that Maddie was dropped off at around 8:30. Stefan doesn't appear to be there yet. So Maddie's on her own for a short space of time. So 8:30. So here now, 8:31. We've got Maddie's phone's at home. It's pinging off this tower, this tower, this tower. And we now have Stefan's phone entering the vicinity of home. Yeah, so this is the 25th. So you can see this 2:25:24, and it's just gone 8:30. So Maddie's just been dropped off at home a few minutes ago, and Stefan is on his way. He's very close now to the home. So 42 minutes past. Hold on, we'll go back. So 36 minutes past, and then 41 minutes past 8. Stefan's phone's pinging off this tower, as is Maddie's. So that must be the tower that all of their phones ping off. It's the closest tower. Actually, this is probably closer. But anyway, both Stefan's phone and Maddie's phone are pinging off this tower. Maddie's phone's pinging off this tower, and also this tower. And Stefan's phone's still kind of on this tower. But Maddie, by 8:20, both Maddie and Stefan are at home. Unfortunately. Yeah, he has to get her ready for bed. Yeah, sickening. All right, so 42 past, 43 past. That's a zoomed in version of the home. You can just about see the home there, and you've got Stefan and Maddie's phone both on there. So that's 9 o'clock. Okay. So that's between 9 and 10. We've got, I mean, it looks like there's more rings. I don't know whether those are all coming from Stefan's phone, or whether there's a roommate in there as well, I don't know. But we can definitely see Stefan, and we can definitely see Maddie. Okay, so that's up to 10 o'clock. So between 9 and 10, they're both at home. Phones are pinging. And then Maddie's phone seems to disappear off the tower. Like, so between 10 o'clock and 10:05, Maddie's phone disappears off the tower. Now, maybe it's run out of battery, or maybe it's been turned off, but only Stefan's phone's pinging off that tower now. It could just be that it's not being used. It's like gone into sleep mode or whatever. Doesn't necessarily mean anything onerous has happened. Okay, so this is now a zoomed out version, and we're going to now start seeing Jen's phone. So Jen's phone is in a blue colour, like a light blue colour. And you're going to see Jen's phone. Actually, it's hidden by this key originally, but it will start coming from this direction. So very soon you're going to see Jen's phone as I flick through this time. So Stefan's phone is still at the house. Maddie's phone's still either off or it's just not registering. But this is 6 minutes past 10. Did any family members stay for a party? Well, it was at her grandma's house. So all the family were there, apart from her mother and Stefan. All the family were there. So, okay. So 6 minutes past 10. 7 minutes past 10. 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Now, just under, I think you can just see it starting to come under here. We do have a little blue arc here. It's a shame they didn't move this move this to this side, because you've got Jen's phone is moving in this area now. So 10 past 10. So Jen's phone's on the move. So it's now pinged off another tower. So you can see there, that's like the strongest little bit there. So she's in this vicinity around here. She's pinging off this tower, this tower, this tower. And there's probably another one up there. So Jen's on her way home. So this is 12 minutes past 10. Maddie's phone's still off, or at least not pinging on the tower. And then Stefan's phone's pinging. 13 minutes past. So she's on her way home now. You can see the movement towards the home. So she's pinging off this tower now. So she's on this highway here. You know, phone ping data, it's not it doesn't give a very precise location, but when it's set out like this, like you know, on a on a time scale like this, you can see the general direction that the phones are moving in. So by working out what direction the phone pings at and which towers they're pinging at, and then, you know, taking it minute by minute, as a lot of this is, you can see what direction the phone's moving in. So she's clearly moving along this highway. So she's gonna be making her way here. She's gonna be going home. So this is 13 minutes past 10. 40 minutes past 10. She's now started to ping off this tower as well. So phone's getting stronger onto this tower. So she's like here now, around here. So she's going to come down there, I guess. So this is 16 minutes past 10. So she did say she got home about 10:30. So Jen's phone data actually supports her story. As you'll see on the 26th, when we get to the 26th, her phone supports her story. So that will be like for the cops, that's obviously very positive, that she's at least told a story that's consistent with what her phone was doing. Whereas Stefan, when we get into the 26th, his story's totally inconsistent with what both his phone and his car were doing. All right, so 16 minutes past 10, Jen's on her way home. So she's now going to ping off. She's pinging off another tower that is not on the map there. So it's now zoomed in. So Jen's moving down here. She's pinging off this tower right here. I don't know whether that's Maddie's phone. It's come back on. It's difficult to tell. But 18 minutes past 10, Jen is now pinging off a tower very close to home. So she's either nearly home or she's maybe got home by now. She's pinging there as well. She's pinging on that one. So I think she's still on her way home. 22 minutes past. And now, no, it's jumped again. So 22 minutes past 10. And Jen's in the vicinity of home. So this arc here is dead strong. So she's in the vicinity of home. And you can see there, she's pinging on this tower. This is the closest tower to the house. So she's pinging on this, and this. But this one is just behind the home. So by 22 minutes past 10, Jen appears to be in the vicinity of home. So they're all now at home. So if you remember, Jen's story was that she saw Maddie before Maddie went to bed, and Jen was tired and she wanted Stefan and Maddie to go and sleep in room number 4 upstairs. No, we don't know when Maddie was killed. No, it was definitely during that night. We don't know what time. So she was alive and well at the birthday party. So the last time anybody other than Jen saw her was around 8:30 when she was dropped off. And then she was dead by 7:35 the following morning. So there's like that. But if we believe Jen, then Maddie was alive at 11. So she was killed in the night. Yeah, it wasn't quite her birthday. Her birthday was on the Friday, I think, the 22nd. It was just happened to be the party on the 25th. So the 22nd would have been the Thursday. It was just that her party was on the Sunday. So we don't know what time she was killed. We may never know what time. I mean, maybe at the trial, they might say an approximate time of death. But with her body being out there, like exposed to the elements for 4 days, it's probably unlikely that we're going to get a precise time of death. So I think what we can conclude is that it's in the night. I wonder if Jen knows. Well, we don't know, and we may never know that either. Honestly, just my personal opinion, I don't think Jen knows that Maddie was murdered. Do you think we'll get much more info at trial? Again, I don't think they'll be able to tell us a precise time of death because her body was exposed to the elements for 4 days. Oh, yeah, there will be new information that will come out at the trial. That's always the case. There's always things that will surprise you. Like we thought we knew a lot about Gannon Stokes' murder, but at the trial, there were some details that came out that even those who'd followed the case really, really closely had never known, didn't know. So that always happens. But remember, these are like the the SA trial and then the murder trial, the cases against Stephan Sterns, the only time we'll hear about Jen in those trials is as a witness. Like, she'll be called as a witness. So it would only be if they had a case about Jen, against Jen in her own right, that we'd hear anything further about Jen. But what I can say is that the phone ping data does support what Jen's story is. Rigor mortis is the best clue. Yeah, but rigor will have gone by. Rigor would have gone by, because remember, she was out there in the elements for 4 days. So I've cracked open a Pepsi Max. You wonder if there will be a trial. Yeah, well, if there's, well, I can't see how he can get away from those SA charges. He seems to be banged to rights for those. But the murder, he might well take a plea to get the death penalty off the table. Yeah, they can only get it down to a period of hours. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Oh, no, rigor wasn't visible in the camera footage. So just before or 12 hours before. Yeah. It can't have been any more than 12 hours before. Like, if on the footage at 8 o'clock, well, she was alive and well at 8:30 because she was dropped off by her auntie at 8:30. And then if we believe Jen, she was alive at 11 p.m. So she wouldn't have been dead that long in when she was positioned to look like she was asleep in the car. Okay, so we're on 22 minutes past 10 and everyone's at home now. All right, so that's just a close-up shot showing both Jen and Stefan at home, 22:33, so just gone 10:30. And then Maddie's phone comes back on. Interesting. At 34 minutes past 10, Maddie's phone, it's not pinging off this tower, but it takes a ping off this tower, which is interesting. So Maddie's phone comes back on. Now, whether that's, it had run out of battery and she'd realised and she charged it, or it had been switched off, we don't know, but it gets a ping at 34 minutes past 10. Okay, so this now is overnight. So 22:34 to 7:58, and all the phones, by the looks of things, are on. If that's Maddie's colour, it's not absolutely clear, but until 7:58, all the phones are at home. I don't know whether Maddie's is on. It's interesting that it gets a ping at 34 minutes past 10. That's kind of interesting that there was some activity on the phone at that point. So was Maddie checking her phone before she went to bed? Maybe. Okay, so over the night time, all the phones are at home. So we've got 7:58 now, just before 8 a.m. on the 26th. So this is when Stefan gets busy. This is when Stefan gets busy. All right, so it zooms right out. Now, remember, Stefan said that Maddie was dropped off at school and she left her phone at home. And he also forgot his phone. So what we're now relying on is his vehicle. So at 8:10, we've got Stefan's vehicle here. So this is near the school. There's home. So this is either heading to or from the school. So this is near the school area. I wish they'd put like the school on as an icon, but they haven't. So, okay, next one. 8:11, right, he's moving. And we've got Jen. At 8:22, her phone comes on. So her phone's got a ping at 8:22, so that must be when she woken up, or she first checked her phone, she got a ping. Stefan's car's moving a little bit, 8:39, coming down here. These obviously are just the cameras that he was caught on. And this isn't necessarily all the cameras he was caught on. This is just enough to tell a story. Okay, so he's moving back up here now. 8:41. Gone up here. 8:50. Now we're moving outwards. So this is Central Florida Parkway at 8:58. So this is a really zoomed out view. 9:01. He's right over here. So he's gone from here, like near where the school is, up here and along here. So he's just like randomly driving around. This is 9:01. So remember, he said that he dropped Maddie off and then he'd gone to the vape shop, but it was closed. So they disputed that story because he seemed to be going in the wrong direction. He was caught on a camera at 8:10 going in the wrong direction, like near the school, but going in the wrong direction. And then he said, oh, well, I had to go home to pick up my key fob. And then he was caught on the apartment complex cameras at 8:19. So he'd gone back home. And now he's out and about, driving around and about now. So he's gone up there. 9:02. 9:02 still. It's unbelievable the amount of cameras he was actually caught on. Like, thought he was being such a smart ass, leaving his phone at home, but didn't bank on the fact that clearly Orlando, Florida is, well, it's very good at surveillance, it appears. Oh, dear me. So he's coming back now. All right. And now he's back at home. Well, we don't know if he's back at home because it appears that we've got a new vehicle here on a camera, but possibly his phone's pinged. So 9:13. So maybe Jen picked up his phone and just thought, maybe Jen tried to ring him or something, and his phone activated and it pinged. 9:13. But it does appear at 9:16 he's on Gateway Avenue and Orangewood Boulevard. So even though his phone's pinging at home, he's up here somewhere. All right, so now we've gone into a zoomed in shot of the home, and Jen's phone is active at 9:18. Now, Jen said that she had a doctor's appointment. So this is perhaps now Jen getting ready to go to her doctor's appointment, maybe. So she's on her phone. We've got Stefan coming down here. Looks like he's on his way back home. We've got Jen also pinging. This is 9:34. Stefan's now up here at 9:35. So he's gone around here, and then he's come back, gone down here, and now he seems to be back up here. Now, remember, it's around this time he's caught on the Holiday Inn camera. I think that's 9:40 something. He's in a Holiday Inn parking garage, moving Maddie's body from the front seat to the trunk. So he's actually caught on camera moving her body. What a smart ass he is. Why he didn't just drive into the middle of nowhere to move her, but I don't know. But I gotta love these dumb criminals. Gotta love them. So that's 9:35. Now we've got 9:38 to 9:39. Jen's phone's. So Stefan's vehicle's there. No, it's not. I don't know what that is. That might. I don't know what that is. But we've got Jen's phone working here. 9:41. Oh, so they've put the Holiday Inn icon in. All right, so that will be when Stefan, 9:41. That will be when Stefan was at the garage putting Maddie's body in the trunk, and we've got Jen still pinging at home. She's still at home at 9:41, 9:42, 9:44. So we've got a movement there. So there's the Holiday Inn. So Stefan's leaving at 9:44. So he's on another camera there, 9:44. Jen on her phone again, pinging at home. We've got Stefan moving down, so he's coming home now. Coming down here. And now we've got Jen. Jen's left the house, so she's pinging off this tower. You can see the arc there. So that must be when she left to go to her doctor's appointment. So Stefan's coming down here as Jen is moving up here to go to her doctor's appointment. So that's 9:52. So that pans out. She said that I think it was Stefan who said, I don't think it was Jen that said, Stefan said that Jen went to a doctor's appointment in the morning. So something about him going to the vape shop, but then not being able to go to the vape shop because it was closed. And then he went home, and then he went out back to the vape shop again later on. What he admitted to tell the cops was that actually the first time he was riding around and about, probably panicked, thinking, what am I going to do with this dead body? And then gets the bright idea of, I know what, I'll go to a parking garage at the Holiday Inn where I'm on camera and I'll move the body to the trunk. All right, great idea. So 9:54, Jen's here. That must be where her doctor's is. 9:57. So she's right there. 9:59. She's right there. 10:02. Stefan's car's coming along here. 10:03. Jen's still here. 10:05. Literally Stefan passes her. 10:06. And then we've got this very, very zoomed in area. Presumably that's Jen's doctor's. 10:15. And then we've got Jen still at the doctor's. So Stefan hadn't picked her up or anything like that. It just appears that while Jen was in the doctor's, Stefan drove by. So between 10:16 and 10:44, we've got Jen out of the house and we've got Stefan now at home. So Stefan's reconnected to his phone. Probably the activity on his phone at that point was him factory resetting it, maybe. I don't know. So 10:16 to 10:44, Jen and Stefan are apart. So at 10:44, Stefan's phone's gone off grid. Jen's phone's just there. So it looks like Jen might be on her way back now. So she's moving up here now. And Stefan is pinging again off this tower. 10:46, still at home. Jen's still out. 10:50. 10:51. 53. Oh. Did you see that? Did you see that? I'll go back. 10:53. Jen's out of the house. Jen's up here. Stefan's just got home. So we'll go back a few. So Stefan's phone comes on at 10:46. 10:50. 10:51. 10:53. 10:55. Maddie's phone comes on. 10:55. Maddie's phone has a ping at home. So somebody is accessing or activating in some way Maddie's phone to make it ping. It might just be one of the random pings that, like, cell towers send out random pings every now and again. So even if you don't even touch your phone, even if your phone's like completely stationary and is completely asleep, phones will periodically check in to cell towers. They'll periodically. So the one the night before at 10:34, that one ping from Maddie's phone, that might just be a random ping that the phone speaking to the cell tower. This might be a random ping. Doesn't necessarily mean Stefan was checking her phone. It could mean that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. And then 10:56. So it could just be a random ping because it's literally like 1 minute. And now we've got Jen back on the move. So Jen's on her way home now. So 11:02. So Stefan appears to be on the move, maybe. Or at least he's pinging off another tower. So he's been pinging off this tower, closest to home. He's now pinging off this tower as well. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's left, but it's just interesting that it's found another tower. Okay, so we've got a zoom out now. So I don't know where Jen's phone's gone. $11:03. 11:03. Where's Jen's phone gone? There it is. There's Jen's phone. So Jen's on her way home. 11:03. Stefan's on the move by the looks of things. So there's home. This is still on this tower, but it's weaker. This is the strong one, going in this direction by the looks of things. That's still 11:03. Still 11:03. Where's it? We've got loads of repeated ones. Hold on. No, we don't. 11:03. We've got loads of repeated ones. Oh, no. Look, we've got an extra line on there. So, yeah, Stefan's on the move. So, Stefan's on the move. Jen, it looks like Jen's still there. And Stefan's on the move. So, this must be his second vape shop trip. So, we've got pinging off. So, he's left homes, pinging off this tower. And now he's starting to go in this direction because he's also got a ping on this tower, which is covered by this big arc here. So his phone's just being picked up by this tower. So he's heading in this direction by the looks of things. Then we've got still 11:03. 11:04. 11:04. 11:05. 11:07. So I think he's at the vape shop. because he's pinging, he's still pinging off this one close to home. He's pinging off this one, but he's also pinging off this one. Now, I don't know where the vape shop is at, actually, but it does appear that he's been there for his phone's been stationary for a few minutes. So if you look, 11:04, 11:05, 11:07, 11:07 still, and Jen looks like she's on the move now. So we've gone from this arc to this arc, moving out. So it looks like Jen's on the move as well. 11:08, yeah, Jen's on the move. She's now pinging off this tower. So she's moved over here. So it looks like probably she's going home. 11:08, 11:09. Jen's coming in this direction. 11:11. Oh, Maddie's phone's got a ping off the tower near the home. So again, does that mean anything? Not necessarily. It could just be a random ping. It could be her phone. Maybe her phone got a text, like some activity on the phone. Doesn't necessarily mean anything bizarre is going on. Now we've got, what's this? So Stefan looks like he's coming back now. So he's still pinging on all these towers. Maddie's phone's still on. Because Maddie's phone is in the house on its own. So it's not them doing it. Unless Jen's home and isn't pinging off this tower yet. But I don't know. So 11:16. 11:16, Stefan's here. 11:18. 11:20. Oh, there you go. There's so Stefan was caught on camera at the vape shop. Oh yeah, do you remember? We had that little interview with the vape shop man. So yeah, so Stefan obviously faffing around. Don't know what he was faffing around, because he's been out of the house a while. Because he's been pinging off, he's been pinging here, he's been pinging here for a while, for a few minutes. But that must have been the time he was actually caught on the camera. 11:20. So now Stefan's at the vape shop, and Jen is still pinging here. All right, so 11:20, 11:25. So this must be the time when he was in the vape shop. So it's just giving a demonstration of where his phone pings when he's in the vape shop. So he's pinging on this tower and this tower. Now we've got a close in back at home with Maddie's phone. So Maddie's phone's on. Maddie's phone's pinging. So I think this is just to show that Maddie's phone was at home the whole time. Maddie's phone was at home. And Stefan and Jen are like flitting about out of the house, and Maddie's phone is still pinging. All right, so now we've got a zoomed out again. So this is now 11:26. So Stefan's in the vicinity of the vape shop, and we've got Jen now approaching home. So she was here. Let me just go back a bit. So she was here, pinging on this tower. Now she's headed home. Watch. So there. So we've got this zoomed out Stefan in the vicinity of the vape shop still, and we've got Jen who's pinging off this tower further south. And then this arc is just about covering home. So she's heading in this direction. So Jen's going home now. And Maddie's phone has finished whatever activity it was doing. Again, it's in the house on its own. So, I don't know. But it's on because it's it's getting pings from the tower. So 11:27. And there we go. Jen's at home. 11:27. Back pinging on this tower. Still picking up on this tower, but pinging on this tower. And Stefan appears to be on the move again. So he's got a new direction. Going up here by lots of things. 11:27. So he did a lot of driving around. Now, remember, when he's doing all this driving around, he's got Maddie in the trunk now. So I don't think Jen knew about this murder. I don't think she knew. She's the coolest cucumber on the planet if she knew. So 11:28, Stefan's moving up here. Now, in this direction. Jen's at home. So he's pinged off this tower now, 11:29. So he's going up here. So he's left the vape shop. Here, pinging here. 11:30, still pinging here. Still there. Moving in this direction now. Going up here, going north. No idea where he's going. Maddie's phone has jumped into action again. I think she's probably just getting like notifications and stuff. All right, we've got a really zoomed out version now because we've got Stefan all the way up here. Times that, 11:33. He's all the way up here. Still there, 11:40. 11:41, still there. 11:41 still, but he's pinging off 2 sectors of this tower now, so he's potentially moving in this direction. Probably going down here. 11:42, yeah, moving here. So he's going along this road here. I wish that in other cases we got this amount of information, because it gives you a really, really, really good idea of what each player is doing. And it really shows you just how far Stefan went. Like what on earth was he doing all that time? And you could see how obvious it was. Like the cops wouldn't have had all this phone ping data, you know, when they arrested him, they wouldn't have had all this phone ping data. But what they did have was surveillance data. And that looked strange enough. So once they got this phone ping data, then they're just like, you son, are very guilty. And the phone ping data did back up Jen's story for what it's worth. So he's coming down here. 11:42. 11:43. Moving out this way. And now he's coming down here. Well, at least he's pinging off this tower, so he's probably here. He's just about getting the ping here. 11:44. 11:44 still 11:44. It's just got a greater activity on this, so it's possibly either still along here or maybe coming down here. 11:45. 11:45 still. So again, very strong on here now. Oh yeah, so he's here now because we've got this sector's activated, but he's still pinging off this tower. So 11:45 still. 11:45. Still 11:45. 11:45. 11:46. So he's pinging off this tower now. So he's coming down here. Dead strong on this tower, but he's got a ping on this tower. 11:47. 11:47. Coming down here. Oh, there he is. 11:47. 11:48. And what's this? Oh, he's caught on camera. He's caught on camera there. So he's definitely here. So all this movement, he's now caught on camera. So it's great. Do you know what? I'd really love to have this level of data for Coburger. I really would like to have all the phone ping data for Coburger. You know, done in this way so that you can just flick through and it looks like it's moving. Because these are all just slides, separate slides. But because I'm moving through them, it looks like you can see the movement. So 11:49, 11:49 still, 11:51. And now he's back at home. So we've gone from there, 11:51, Jen's at home. Jen's been at home this whole time. And then, so 11:57 to 12:47, Stefan's at home. But around 12:47, Jen's phone now has moved. Now, does it mean that she's left the house? Not necessarily, but it's just got a ping off this further away tower. So potentially she's moved location. Now, could she just be out taking the dog out? Yeah, she could. She could be anywhere. But her phone been pinging off this tower. But now it's pinging off this tower. So it does appear that she's moved. So 12:47, but Stefan's at home. All right, so this is zoomed out, 12:49. And we've got Stefan moving out and about again. I mean, come on, this dude. So at 12:49, there's home. So maybe Jen's still at home because, so 12:47. So 11:57 to 12:47, Stefan's at home. It could simply be Jen is at home, but it's just pinging off this tower for whatever reason. I mean, sometimes, you know, in a really busy area, if a tower is congested, then your phone will ping off a different tower that's further away. So maybe Jen did take a trip, or maybe she's just pinging off this tower. I don't know. But this is where it gets interesting. 12:49, he's on the move again. So she's pinging off the home tower and he's on the move. So he's caught on 192 and Dyer. So he's on camera now. And I think he's left his phone at home. Who's buying his gas? His daddy. Probably. It's his dad's car. So probably. So that red ring there, I think, signifies he's at home. It's just being covered by Jen's phone, like just the colour. But he's on the move. So thinking he's being smart, leaving his phone at home when he goes dumping the body. But yeah, he's just completely forgotten about the cameras. So he's here now. He's moving this way. So his phone's still at home. His phone's at home. But he's moving. He's literally caught on dozens of cameras. No, he's never had children of his own. Not that we know about, anyway. None that have ever been mentioned. None that have ever been mentioned. Does that mean he's got a kid somewhere? Maybe, I don't know, but not that we know about. So 12:54, he's on 192 and Jongyung Parkway, JYP. So he's headed to Hickory Tree Road now. Yep, there he is, 12:59. His phone's still at home. 1 o'clock. 5 past. So I don't know where that actually is. It doesn't have a name on it. So 1:05, 8 minutes past 1. is now on 192 and Sergeant Graham Drive. And remember, Maddie's body was found in St. Cloud. So he's nearly there. There's St. Cloud. So he's heading out now. He's going to get his flat tyre. We don't know whether he got his flat tyre first and then had to pull over and just, you know, get rid of her body as quickly as he could, or whether he got rid of her body and then got the flat tyre. We don't know that yet. Okay, so he's heading towards St. Cloud. So his phone's still at home and he's caught on all these cameras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cameras. All right, here he is. He's now on 192 and Neptune Road in St. Cloud at 9 minutes past 1. And 10 past 1, 13 past 1 is now on 192 and Vermont Avenue. So I think we're now on 9 cameras. Oh dear, what a muppet. 14 minutes past 1, 14 past 1 still. 15 past 1, 192 and Delaware Avenue. Oh dear, Stefan. Oh dear. Oh dear. Still 15 past. We've got another one. We've got 192 and Mississippi Avenue in St. Cloud. 16 minutes past. Old Hickory Tree Road and Creative Inspiration Gate North. So we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cameras he's been caught on going, dumping Maddie's body. I mean, look at that. And then he's there for nearly an hour. So there's no movement for nearly an hour. So we're now on 10 past 2 and he's stuck at Old Hickory Tree. So changing his tyre, presumably. And now he appears to be on the move again at 14:11. So 11 minutes past 2 and he's on the move again. All right, so he's moving. 12 minutes past, still 12, still 12, 13, 16, 18, 18, 19, getting caught on some of the same cameras. 23 past, 26 past. There's actually different cameras picking him up on the way back. Oh, Stefan. Oh, dear. 26 past, 28 past, 29 past, 38, 14:38, 39, nearly at home, 41. All right, now where's Jen going to go? Jen is now going to go and pick Maddie up. So we've got this far out shot, but we do have this arc. And that's Jen's phone. So we've got Jen on the move now. Jen's here. So 14:41, Jen's left the house shortly before this. And she's going to go and pick Maddie up from school now. So Jen's got a little flurry of activity. Who says technology can't be helpful? Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Smarter than everyone else. Well, not quite. All right, so Jen's going up here. Oh, and we've got Stefan on 192 and Dyer. So he rang, I think he was supposed to be going to pick Maddie up, This is what he said with Jen, but he had to call her to say that he got a flat tire. So Jen's left the house and Stefan's still out and about. So he's caught on 192 and Dyer. So he's heading back to the house and she's left, which again supports her story that I don't think she knew anything about this. Or she's just a very cool customer. All right, so we're now zooming back out. And I think does that signify the school? Maybe. That signifies the school, probably. So I don't know what that signifies, but it's in the vicinity anyway. All right, so Jen's phone's now, home's down here. Jen's up here. Jen's here. So that's 1447. And now we've got Stefan at home on his phone. 1448. Jen's here. Oh, that's actually Maddie's phone. So Jen's phone's pinging off this tower, and Maddie's phone has left home. Home's down here. So Jen looks like she's taken Maddie's phone with her, because that's got a ping here. So 10 to 2 nearly. So now Jen and Maddie's pinging off the same tower. So school must be over here. I wish they'd put the school. I don't know what that is. Well, that's meant to be. Anyway, I need to get the map, like Google Map, and superimpose it on this. If I could be bothered, I would, but I don't know whether I could be bothered. Really, we kind of know where they were. So her and Maddie's phone are together. 10 to 3. Jen's on the move. So that's a zoomed out shot showing that Stefan's phone's active at the house and Maddie's phone's over here and in the same vicinity that Jen's phone's at. So now Jen's here. Jen's here. So gone in this direction. So maybe that is the school. Maybe that is the school. So Jen's up here. She's pinging off this tower now. So she's pinging off two sectors off this tower, and all of this tower. And Maddie's phone's still here. So that's at 5 to 3. All right, that must be the school because they've zoomed in on it. So we've got Jen and Maddie's phone pinging off these towers. So the towers that are closest to the school. So yeah, Jen had taken Maddie's phone with her. So that was so 10 to 3 to 13 minutes past 4. And both Maddie and Jen's phones are in this vicinity. So in the vicinity, waiting for school. And then I think Jen's going to head in this direction maybe. And then 14:59 to 14:59 to 15:24, Stefan's still at home. Now Stefan's on the move. 25 past 3, he's left house, or at least he's pinging off this tower here now. So yeah, he's on the move, starting to ping off this tower. So 15:29. So what was he doing there? So he's still at the house, but he's getting a ping here and a ping here. So it does look like he's moving, but then we get that. So maybe he was out and about doing something, or maybe it's just random, but interesting. So 3:30, he's at the house. Oh, off again. 15:31. Oh, yeah, definitely on the move now. So he's moving up here. 3:30. And then, oh, I don't know though. 15:42 to 16:13. This is random. You've got these random tower pings. I don't exactly know why. All right, now, so we've got now 16:17 to 16:27, and Jen's on the move again. So probably been waiting at the school. She's heading this way now. Going here. 16:38, 16:41. So he's right out here now. So I think he is on the move. 16:41. 16:41 still. 16:43. 16:44. Oh, he's up there. So that must be when he must have been on the move there. That must be when Jen called him to say Maddie's not there. So he's now got to go into full-blown Oscar-winning award mode and convince everybody that he had absolutely nothing to do with this. So, yeah, he's in the vicinity of the school now. So 5 to 5, they're both together in the vicinity of the school. Stefan's down here. There he is. Nearly 5 o'clock. 57, 58. Is he moving up here? 59. Got a zoomed in thing now. Where are we zooming in at? I don't know where we're zooming in at, but we're zooming in. So this would have been when they were at Grandma's work. So that's 5 o'clock. Still 5 o'clock. Still 5 o'clock. Maddie's phone's come on. It's pinging off 2 sectors of this tower now. 17:02, 17:03. Still 03. So Stefan's on the move. I just find this really fascinating. I find it so interesting. So now this is nearly 10 to 7. I've just gone 10 to 7, rather. So where's Stefan off to? So 10 to 7 till 20 to 9. 10 to 9 even. So they're still in this vicinity. Now he went out, didn't he, with the police? If you remember, there's a body cam where he went and took the police to where he dropped, well, I say where he dropped Maddie off, but where he said he dropped Maddie off. So I'm wondering whether that activity is this, like him being with the police. Now they're all moving together. So just gone 9 o'clock. Got a zoomed out version there. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. They're all together, still near the school. So they'll be at Grandma's work still. Because this was when they were talking to the police. If we match up the body cam, the police body cam to this, that's where they all were. They were all there. And they were looking on Maddie's phone, weren't they? So Maddie's phone would have been pinging. 2, 3, 3, still 3. So Maddie's phone's moving this way now. 4 minutes past 9. Stefan's phone's moving in that direction. They're all still around there. 23, 24, 25, 25, 25, 26, 27, 28. 9:30. All phones active. All together, pinging off the same towers. Zoomed out. 9:45. They're going to start going home now, I think. Yeah. There they are. Yeah. They're all together there, look. Look at that. They're all moving together. And now we've got Stefan's phone pinging at home. So that's 5 to 10. We've got, I think that means Jen's at home or Maddie's at home. There's Jen's phone pinging on that tower. So they all got home just before 10 o'clock. And then we've got body cam footage that is just all redacted really late at night when the cops come round and do that second round of interviews with them. So they're all at home. There you go. That's it. So, in my opinion, the phone data does support Jen's story for what it's worth. For what it's worth. That for the majority of the day, Stefan and Jen weren't together. Who is that? All the black pages? No. I'm talking about the police body cam. There's a video file of a police body cam where the cops go to the house, and you literally see the cops turn the body cam on, go to the door, and then there's like 40 minutes of a video that's completely redacted. It's completely black. Like there's no video and there's no audio. It's just completely black. They've redacted the entire thing. And that's when it was the second time the cops saw them. So the first responders met Stefan and Jen at Grandma's workplace. That was around 20 to 9. And then, or around that time, or 20 to 8 maybe. Can't remember now. And then later on, like closer to midnight, the cops turn up at the house. And they want, like, they get a scent article for the dog. And then they're out, the dog's out in the middle of the night. The bloodhound's out in the middle of the night trying to find a scent, but obviously couldn't find a scent because Maddie had never been there. So all of it fits together, like the body cam, the discovery gives us a really nice picture of everything that went on. But there's so many things we don't know yet. And we know way more. We know way more than we do, 4 months into a case. We know way more than we normally do because it's Florida, and Florida have this, open records policy. But they still obviously have to redact a lot of stuff to maintain the integrity of the investigation, but also to protect, people's privacy as well. So I think the body cam at the house was redacted because there was a bunch of other family members there. Jen lied, preschool mom, I thought. Yeah, Jen did lie at the beginning. Jen's told one lie that I've been able to ascertain. Jen originally told the first responding officer that she saw Maddie getting dressed for school at 8 o'clock. But then in the second interview, she said that she didn't actually see her she heard voices in the kitchen and she thought that was Maddie. So she didn't, she very quickly corrected herself, and everything else is basically supported by her phone. So, you know, you can suspect, you can not like somebody, but unless you can prove that they've done something, you know, something that you can prove that they've lied, then the cops have got this, you know, difficult situation that she doesn't look like she's done anything wrong. No, the roommates. Yeah. There's roommates, but there was, right. So when they literally opened the door, and you see a room full of people, and then instantly it goes off. So you don't even get a split second to count how many people are in there. So there'd be, the roommates might be there. There was family there. You know, there was Jen's sister, Jen's mother. There were some kids hanging around. What do you mean? How did he call Jen with no phone? He did have a phone. How did he call Jen with no phone? He did have a phone. He just didn't take his phone when he supposedly took Maddie to school, and then he didn't take his phone when he went dumping the body. So he had his phone for the rest of the time. But his phone is called Stephan Sterns. So it does appear, like I said right at the beginning. Let me just go right back to page 445. This is the first page of the phone ping stuff, and the phone is called Stephan Sterns. That's his dad. So it's clearly Stefan who has this phone, but it appears that the phone is listed under Stephan Sterns' name. So basically his dad is paying his phone bill. So Stefan might not have a phone, but he's got his dad's phone. So no, it's not a burner phone. It's his dad's phone. The phone pings that we've been tracking for the last nearly an hour and a half are Stefan moving about with a phone called Stephan Sterns. I don't know. I don't think Stefan's family knew anything about this. I really don't. I don't think we can blame any member of Stefan's family. They had no idea what he was doing. At least his dad didn't. I really believe his dad didn't. I think his mother, there's been some issues with his mother in the past, but I don't think his dad knew anything. Like the fact that he was borrowing his dad's car and his phone is in Stephan Sterns' name, I think it's just because Stefan's a leech. Maybe, yeah, his dad maybe upgraded his phone and gave the old one to Stefan. Maybe. Can Jen get charged with negligence by letting Maddie sleep with a bogeyman? Well, I'd like to say yes, but I don't know whether that constitutes negligence. I mean, maybe. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. I think she's clueless. Yeah, Cheryl, I agree with you. I think she's clueless, gullible. I think she turned a blind eye. I think she did whatever was easiest for her. I think that she knew Maddie had anxiety. So if Stefan, said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll sleep with her. I'll keep her company," I think she just believed him. I think she just believed him because it was easier for her to believe him. And it does say in the discovery, we actually discussed it last night in the episode 6. We talked about this last night, so go and check that one out from yesterday, because in the discovery, like, the cops actually comment that they think Jen is in denial. There's actually a comment from the cops. So I think that's what the cops think about Jen, that she was just clueless, gullible, in denial. I'd basically no idea that this was wrong. Yeah, low self-esteem. Yeah. And I think Stefan probably, that whiny voice that he has probably lulls people into a false sense of security. It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's got this whiny, soft voice. And she'd known him for, since Maddie was little. So if somebody chooses to turn a blind eye and chooses to be in denial, because it is a choice, then you don't see what's in front of your face. And so many people have been in that situation. So it does happen. It does happen. There are a lot of gullible people. Listen, we know there are a lot of gullible, clueless people out there. How do you think these true crime psychics dupe everybody by, believing that there's some spirit talking to them on their phone app? Come on now. There's some incredibly gullible people out there who believe the latest story that a psychic tells them, who believe the latest story that, oh, this is a wild theory. Oh, yeah, that must be true. Come on now. We see this every day. We see this every single day. It's just, I pity the human race. I do. I don't know what is going to become of the human race, because humans appear to be getting dumber. As I get older, I've come to a realization that humans are getting dumber. And I think it's because you just want to be spoon-fed. You want to be spoon-fed in 140 characters or less, your opinion. And so few people these days are prepared to, think for themselves and actually, I don't know. So Jen is probably one of those people. Gullible, wants an easy life, and she chose to be in denial. There you go. All right, guys, gonna go. Thank you all. So that concludes the entire discovery. We've been through every page of 896 pages. The reason why it's so long is because 400 of these pages, let's have a look. It's a lot. It's a lot of pages. Hold on. So from 445 to 862 is all phone ping data. So that's why it's so long. And also the search warrants and a lot of the initial reports are in duplicate, and some of them are even in triplicate and quadruplet. There's various repeats as we've seen as we've gone through, but at least we've addressed every single page. All right, so this concludes this little mini series. If you've missed any episodes, 5 of them are on Michelle After Dark, and then 2 of them, obviously last night's and tonight's, are on this channel, Michelle Walks. But they are all 7 episodes are on Michelle After Dark in the playlist. Let me just show you. They're all in the Madeline Soto's playlist, which is here. So even though these 2 are on Michelle Walks, I can still put them in a playlist on Michelle After Dark. So they're all there. If you've missed one, then you can just go back and get it from there. Or It's also in the live streams playlist as well. So there you go. Oh, thank you, Jean, for the €10. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. So thanks for that donation. So thank you, everybody. If you've watched them all, then good. I've tried to keep them short. I did say that this one would be a little bit longer because I wanted to just do the phone ping data all in one live stream. It didn't make sense to split them into two. So, yeah, I'm going to go now. And let's find another little mini series to cover next time. So, yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, mods, as always. Thanks for the donation, Jean. And I shall see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.